Howdy. Back on trail. I spent like 3 days after finishing Washington traveling and hanging out with family. So that was awesome. I got to see my uncle and aunt and their families and then my grandparents too, which was really great. And then also just was able to eat a ton of food and then also get down to the Oregon border, which took a bit. Got to ride an Amtrak train, which was really fun. Haven't been on an Amtrak train in a long time. So that was cool. And yeah, now I'm just at Cascade Locks, had some lunch, and then now I'm walking back on trail. So going up Eagle Creek, there's a really popular alternate right at the start of Oregon when you're going southbound, where you go a different way because it's got some really cool waterfalls, cliffs, and then one spot in particular where you go like in a tunnel behind a waterfall, and I think it's called Tunnel Falls. And either way, I'm excited to see that, and then get up to Mount Hood pretty soon, which I'm pumped for. I love Hood. It's just a great mountain, and yeah, so that's kind of gonna be this next little stretch here. And so from here, I'm going all the way down Oregon and all the way down through NorCal, and that's kind of the plan. So yeah, I haven't been in a lot of these areas before at all. Like I've never seen the Sisters, never seen Mount Jefferson, I don't think. I've never seen Crater Lake. So all those things I'm just pretty pumped to experience for the first time. So yeah, excited to be out here and back on trail. Also, just want to give major shout outs to Uncle Michael for driving me around and letting me stay with him too. That was super great. I slept like the most I've slept in a really long time on my uncle's couch, and that was awesome. So thank you, Mike, for letting me stay with you. That was very appreciated. Woo-hoo! This is so cool. Hey, so just got to do the Eagle Creek alternate, and it was incredible. That was so much fun. I really, really loved it. You go by like a ton of waterfalls, and they're all super cool. If you're doing the PCT, definitely do the Eagle Creek alternate. It was very, very cool. It was some of the most interesting hiking for sure I've done the whole time. It was really exceptional. And now I'm going to get back onto the PCT, so I'm still technically on the alternate, and this section is just really steep, so I'm taking it a little slower, getting back to the PCT here. But some really, it was raining this morning, but it opened up and now it's really nice and sunny, so yeah, having a good time. I'm just having the best time on this section. The section on Eagle Creek was so cool. It was like walking through like a fantasy book or something. That tunnel behind the waterfall has the coolest like waterfall type trail I've ever been on, easily. Like, oh, so crazy. Whoever made that is just manic. And now I have these great views of Hood. It's unfortunately hiding beneath the clouds, but I'm super pumped. I think tomorrow it's supposed to be clear, and so I'll get over there tomorrow and see Ramona Falls, maybe even tonight, and then get up and get some food tomorrow, and then keep on rolling. But love Mount Hood, super special mountain for me. I've been able to hike around it twice before on the Timberline Trail, once by myself and then another time with my sisters, and that was just so fun. It was such a blessing to be able to hang out with my sisters, and yeah, just have a great time around the mountain. So really special place for me, and I'm really glad that I get a chance to come back again for the 3rd year in a row and at least do a part of the trail. We'll see. I might have some time. I'm meeting my family this weekend, so I might have some time to kind of kill on trail, and so I might try to round it and do the Timberline Trail again, or I might just keep on rolling and have kind of more chill days the rest of the time, or maybe I'll spend some time at the lodge and kind of spend a day up there just hanging out. But yeah, either way, super pumped to be out here, and really this section of the trail has been really fun. I'm really enjoying it and excited for what's to come as well. Come on. I love that mountain. Wish I could see it all the way. But who knows, maybe I'll poke its little head out tonight. Maybe I'll get to see her looking all bright and fancy. But no. It's past Ramona Falls. It's just incredible. What an amazing waterfall. It's my favorite waterfall, I would say. It's just so cool. Could have stayed there all day. Last year I was remembering me, Ella, and Mom, so me and my sisters were there, and they were just in the goofiest mood. We've been walking like all day, and they just were laughing and just messing around. And I remember just being like, man, I just want to sit and enjoy the waterfall. They were being goofy. But either way, I got a little time with it myself too. There wasn't anyone there this morning, so that was really nice. So I love this section of trail. I get to go up to Mount Hood now. Clear skies, I don't see a cloud, so hopefully that holds and I get some really good views of Hood. And then I'm excited to eat some lunch when I get there. They're famous for having a really good buffet, so gonna spend some time at the lodge. and then hike down, and then I keep on going back. So I'll probably, and next up is kind of the Jefferson area. So I'll hike to Mount Jefferson, which I don't even think I've ever seen Jefferson before. So I'm excited to do that. Mount Hood looking beautiful. See you later, buddy. Heading towards Mount Jefferson. And seeing family. And we're also in the Oregon Freeway, aka the flattest trail known to man. What's up? Continuing through Oregon, and this morning had some lovely trail magic. There's this guy called Carbs who had his trailer out along a dirt road, and he was feeding everyone pancakes. And so I got some really nice pancakes and grabbed an apple and some coffee, which was nice. Either way, that was some great trail magic. Oregon so far has been so flat. Right now, maybe you can see I'm on a climb, one of the rare climbs, but it's been like a freeway of a trail, essentially, like just so straight and flat, which is nice, a good change, especially after Washington was especially the last half of Washington was really up and down. But at least with this last section, it's been also not like the craziest views, but a lot of trees, a lot of huckleberries still, so still enjoying myself. Just like a little bit of a different trail. Tomorrow I get to an area really close to Mount Jefferson, and then I'm gonna meet up with my family, take a few days off hanging out with them, and then get back on trail, and then really trying to move after getting back on trail then, because hiking times are winding down. It's getting late into the year, and after September, into October, when I should be down to the desert, snow becomes a risk, even down in the SoCal area where they still get periods of snow there through some sections. So gonna be trying to go a lot faster once I get down there. But yeah, I enjoy myself, loving. Thank you, shout out to everyone that does trail magic. It's always really cool to run into the trail magic and just see people having a good time and helping other people out is always cool. This is a fun burn section because you can see these trees are all really young fir tree or pine trees, and that just goes on for miles here. So you can look down, or maybe not miles, but quite a ways. And these pine trees, I don't know if they were planted or what, but they're doing really well and really thriving. You can see, I believe the like lighter tones on the pine trees are the new growth. So you can see them kind of towards the top of the pine trees, and then towards the feet or the branches, the farther edges of the branches. Those are all new growth from this year, which is pretty cool. And it looks like at least this little patch of pine trees right here is really healthy, which for a lot of the burn sections, you don't necessarily see that, like new healthy growth pine trees. So it's cool to see. So I'm back on trail and back at a Lolly Lake Resort right next to Mount Jefferson or close to it. I hung out with my family all weekend of the Labor Day weekend, and now it's Monday. I think I'm 67 days into the trail. So 8 of those days have been 0 days, and hopefully I will take maybe 1 to 2 more 0 days for the rest of the trip. We'll see if I can actually do that. But from here on out, as I go south through Oregon, then NorCal, and then the desert, I'm really looking to push as fast as I can. So NorCal and Oregon are easier, especially Oregon. So hopefully I'll be able to do big mile days. I'm looking at averaging around 30 miles, maybe even a little bit more, as I go through Oregon. So I'll really be trying to go as fast as I can so that I can actually finish the trail before there's too much snow, it's too cold, and it gets really nasty later. Like if I had to go into November, that starts getting really sketchy. And so I want to finish in October. And that's kind of the goal. So I'm speed from here on out. And yeah, it was really great hanging out with the family though. I had a ton of fun. It was great to see them. I definitely missed them. So it was really great to get to hang out for the weekend and eat lots of food and do some fun stuff. We went and picked huckleberries, and yeah, it was just a great time. So I am excited for what's to come though. Oregon is exciting. I'm excited to be closer to Mount Jefferson. It's already beautiful. And then see things like the Three Sisters volcanoes, and then Crater Lake too. So pumped for what's to come, and yeah, gotta keep on walking. Hey, a few days out from Mount Jefferson. Just got my resupply yesterday at some camp that accepts packages and lets you come in and charge your devices and stuff. I didn't stay there, basically. I stayed there for like an hour, but got my package and resupplied, and now my backpack's super heavy because I got a lot of food. This next section is supposed to be really interesting, and I'm currently in one of the weirdest sections where you go through a volcanic area and everything's just rock. The ground's rock. I'm sure you can hear me walking on grading all these rocks, but just super interesting, fascinating landscape, unlike anything else that you see on the trail for sure, at least as far as I know. I guess maybe I'll update when I know that you go through some cool stuff in Lassen National Park too, but it's very hot. So I got my umbrella out. It also is unfortunately one of the first smoky days I've had on trail, even though I've been really close to fires a lot and seen smoke coming up. It hasn't actually been around me, and this is the first time I can actually kind of like smell smoke and see that it's hazy. And so I'm really close to the Three Sisters, and in fact they look really pretty cool, but they're through a very thick haze. So hopefully that kind of clears up as the day goes on. I think it wasn't smoky at all yesterday, so I think the wind just changed, and so hopefully we'll get some westward wind coming off the ocean, and kind of blow some of the smoke out. But yeah, just an interesting day for walking. Another day. The PCT is so crazy because you just go through all these really interesting landscapes constantly. And Oregon definitely feels that way, where there's a lot of like landmarks where you might walk for like 15-ish miles through kind of some boring stuff, but then all of a sudden you're at this really crazy new spot that's really worth checking out. So definitely enjoying Oregon so far, and even though the hiking conditions maybe aren't the greatest, it's a very interesting and just like dynamic area to walk through, where things just feel like they're changing constantly. So enjoying that, hoping to be back into some non-burn sections eventually though, because I'm kind of over burn areas at the moment. But yeah, I'll update you as I keep on rolling through Oregon. Howdy. So I'm in the middle of the craziest burn section that I've gone through so far. This is the most recent burn I think I've walked through for sure. You can see probably there's barely anything that's green, which tells me that it probably was only a few years ago. I don't know when, but really crazy looking environment. And it would have been terrible. I was thinking about hiking this section because I knew it was coming up earlier today. And I was like, oh, crud, it's gonna be really hot. But a storm blew in, and so I have like a really nice breeze, no sun, and it's a lot more enjoyable than I thought it was gonna be, honestly. So I count that as an absolute blessing. It seemed kind of fun when it's not hot because it's so unique looking. But yeah, well, I'm a few days, so I think I'm like 100 miles away from Crater Lake right now, and that's kind of my next big point that I get to. I'll hit another like place where I can grab some more food tomorrow, because I won't be able to make it that far with the food I have currently. But yeah, this section's been kind of boring. This is probably the most interesting thing that I've seen for a while since Three Sisters, but that's okay. And I'm really looking forward to Crater Lake once I get there. So yeah. Lots of these mushies that are like popping out of the ground, and you can see all the dirt that they pushed out. They're like half covered still. Look pretty funky. Funky. Alright, so I made it around the fire closure, and now I'm back hiking towards Crater Lake. I've got about, I think like 55-ish miles until I get to Crater, so that's kind of the next thing. Definitely the smokiest area that I've been through, but I'm quickly going to pass the highest section of trail, if you just stay on the trail, of the Oregon section of the trail. So I'm going to get above 7,000 feet of elevation gain, so that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, I also like split here, actually, I'll show you. I split my foot, not my actual foot, I split my shoe with a fallen tree at one point, and so I had to put like duct tape all over it. Now the duct tape's splitting, but I have a new pair of shoes waiting for me at the post office in Crater Lake, so kind of trying to make it there a little bit quicker now, because that shoe's kind of toast. It still holds together overall, it just lets anything through the top of it essentially. So yeah, either way, kind of an exciting little section here, and I'm excited to see Crater Lake a lot. Mount Thielsen? I don't actually know how to say it, but it looks pretty rad. Woohoo! I'm excited about this. I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to seeing Crater Lake for a long time. Hey, I am maybe about 5 days out from finishing Oregon. So close to finishing Oregon. And I just was able to see Crater Lake yesterday, and that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Crater Lake, super beautiful, really big. I think the scale was the most interesting part about Crater Lake to me. It was just really massive. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Never been there before. Really cool. Wizard Island in the middle of the cinder cone that formed it was really cool. Yeah, I just enjoyed being there, and left some stuff to do. There's some stuff that I'd like to go back to. You can like go on a boating tour and go to the island in the middle and do a hike there up to the top, which I think would be fun. And then also there's like another hike up one of the tall spires that I didn't do. But yeah. Then today got some food, got resupply, got new kicks, which is great because my old shoes had like a massive hole in them. So and they were just old too. I think I had over 500 miles on those. So yeah, these will get me hopefully all the way to SoCal, and then I'll need some new shoes at that point when I head down to start the desert. But yeah. Howdy, hey. So the last few days have been really wet, and that's all that's really happened. Really cold too. It was so cold this morning that like the ground was white from frost and my hands were like freezing. So I might need to order like a new jacket to help out with that. But there was a funny story. I do have another funny story. So I was in my tent and I woke up in the morning and I had been drying my soaking socks because it was so wet that my feet were drenched, and I had hoped that overnight, they would dry off, and they did not. So they were still super wet, and they were they were really stinky too. But either way, I was trying to squeeze them out and get as much of the moisture out of them before I started walking, and I was squeezing them out right outside of my tent. Didn't really look where I was squeezing, and I squeezed it right onto my spoon, and I only have one utensil, mind. And so now every time I eat anything with my spoon, I've got a little bit of sock juice remnants on there, which is great. I washed it off, of course, but so the idea is really funny. So either way, having a good time through Oregon. This part of Oregon's been really flat, so just been pushing out big miles, at least today. The last few days, because of the water, it was hard to do big miles, especially in the morning and the evening because it was so cold. But now the weather's prim and nice, and so hoping to do some big 30 miles to get down into Ashland in like 2 days, and then across the border in like 4 days, I think. So yeah, and I think it's like September 15th or something right now, but yeah. Should be fun. We're our first view of Mount Shasta, which is pretty cool. I'll go. It's south of me right here, and I'll go west of it. But it's massive. It's crazy because I'm still in Oregon. I didn't think I'd see it already, but there it is. It's really big, very large. Very, very large, and I'm gonna have to walk through a lot of ground to get there. I think it goes like way west of it, so I don't even think I'd get super close, but I'm sure I'll get closer than this though, so gonna have some cool views. Oh yeah, I'm on day 80. I just finished, or I'm just finishing Oregon today, so I'll get past the Oregon border with California today, and I'll be into NorCal. Yesterday, I was able to go into town and get some great Indian food at Ashland. I had their lunch buffet, and that was really yummy. And then resupply at a Safeway there, so that was great. So now I'm loaded with a ton of food. And yeah, got it. It's actually not a very long section to the next little town, but I wanted to buy more food because I don't think they have a great selection of food at the next town. But yeah, feeling good this morning. It's been really wet, so rained again last night quite a bit. One of the interesting things is that if you're on the westward side of the mountains, it's typically a lot wetter than on the east side of the mountains. And so this morning I thought it was gonna be like a really stormy day, and then I passed over to the east side of the mountain, and now it's a lot more chill. So that's a funny reality of being on the west coast, I guess. But actually it looks like now I might be heading back into the fog again. But it is kind of nice that it's wet. It means I don't have to worry about fires. Aren't really a concern to me through this section. And then also it hasn't been hot. In fact, I've been cold a lot of the time, so it's been a little bit of a difference there. But yeah, looking forward to getting into NorCal. It's just kind of a pretty big stepping stone. It means I'll only have about 1,100 or so miles left by the time I get to NorCal. So it's been a lot of miles to get this far, which is pretty cool. And 2 states will be down. A lot of birds out. Let's see if they fly again. Here at the Oregon-California border, 2 states down. Woohoo! And now I just gotta... Mexico's a lot farther away though, as you can see. I've already done 500 of those miles, so got about what, at least like 1,200-ish left, a little bit less. But yeah, there you go. That's what's up. Now to the sunset.